cheesecake I love to make myself is Cassata, a Sicilian cheesecake. Originally served at Easter and nowadays presented at parties and family gatherings.
And for this I need 5 eggs, which I have to separate out. You get a much lighter cake when you whisk them up separately. And I'm looking for this really frothy meringue type egg white mix for this cake. So now, I'm going to put this in here for a few minutes and whisk it up. Full speed ahead. It's a lovely soft meringue mixture. So you just need to put this in a separate bowl. In go our egg yolks. Lots of sugar, I'm afraid. And then the grated zest of the lemon. What's important now is to whisk up the egg yolks, sugar and lemon zest. A few minutes should do it. Now that's ready because the eggs have taken on this wonderful creamy, buttery colour. Next thing we need to do is fold our egg whites with our egg yolks. And this just takes a little bit of patience. So it's really important to get your spatula right underneath and lift up the egg yolks and cut right through. If you overbeat, you're going to lose all that lovely volume that you have in the egg whites, and you will definitely have a much denser cake. And then we have some flour and baking powder. So because I'm putting the baking powder in now and starting to mix it with the liquid, it's vital that the oven is already up to temperature because I can't afford to stop with this recipe. So the oven should already be preheated at about 180 degrees. And that will be about 160 if you have a fan oven. And again, a nice light fold, because the weight of the flour now could condense this cake a little bit, so just take a little bit easier this time when you're folding. That's perfect. It's lovely and airy. And here I have my springform tin, which I've already lined and buttered. And in our mixture goes. This should take about 30 to 35 minutes in the oven. And then we'll be ready to form our cake. The filling for a cassata is particularly special. Your main ingredient is ricotta cheese, which is really unusual to have as a filling for a cake, but you'll see it all over Sicily as fillings for any kind of dessert.
The ricotta on its own is a bit bland, and so I sieve a good quantity of icing sugar into it. And it's ready for all the fabulous flavours from the chocolate chips, toasted pine nuts and candied fruit. You can be a little adventurous though and add candied pineapple, papaya or mango. Finally, a sprinkling of cinnamon.
And you simply blend all of this together. It's incredibly sweet. For me personally, a little in moderation. For my children, as much as they can get their hands on. Now, that's ready. What we need to do now is cut the cake in half. So off we go. There we are. The cake's a bit dry, so we need to moisten it. I mean, think of it like a trifle. So what I'm going to do is, instead of putting sherry, I'm putting Marsala, which is a lovely fortified wine. I'm going to mix a little bit of orange in with it so that it's not too alcohol-y. So you simply pour this over the cake. All I'm going to do now is just put my filling on. And then we just have to match up our edges, which are here.
Ricotta puts in another appearance here as I mix it with well-sieved icing sugar to make a lovely creamy topping for the cake.
So just pour a little bit in the centre like so.
Using ricotta rather than water with the icing sugar gives the finish an interesting texture, and I like to decorate it with some toasted almonds and little slices of orange and lemon, which I have lightly candied without peeling off the rind. The cake itself is a simple enough sponge, but filled and decorated like that, I think it's ornate enough for any Sicilian celebration.